So I'm the only one in the office. Well, I probably shouldn't say I'm in the office because I'm supposed to be sequestered at home. But this is kind of my home. I'm like 2 minutes, like literally 2 minutes from my office is 2 minutes from my house. So kind of come over here. There's nobody here, which is really super freaky. Got to tell you a quick story. So in addition to being the founder CEO of WeCruitr and a recruiter myself, I write for Forbes. And one of the articles was picked up by the folks at MSNBC. And they said, hey, we really liked the piece. Would you come on and be a guest? And I'm, yeah, sure. And the article is really about what to do during the self-quarantine time. And as we're all going through it, everyone has a different way of coping. You know, some are overwhelmed. Let's say you have a couple of young kids at home, 2, 3 young kids. They're 3, they're 5, they're 8, they're running around. You really don't have a whole lot of time to do a lot of things other than just keep them entertained and make sure they don't kill each other. If, let's say you have some older kids and they're in school, you're probably helping them with school. You're working from home, your spouse is working from home, and it's really hard to to be proactive. But the point for my piece was that, hey, if you have the luxury, if you're fortunate enough that maybe like myself, who have my kids are older, they're in college but sent home, which they're not too happy about. Because as you can imagine, they have a little bit more fun in college with their friends than being home with their mom and dad. But they're home and they're making the best of it. And they're self-sufficient, obviously, because they're older. And, so it gives myself, my wife, the opportunity to, focus on our work. Now, some people do have that luxury. And I do say luxury because, let's be frank, there are a lot of people who have to care for sick relatives, a lot of people who are, maybe have the, coronavirus themselves or just have some symptoms or worried about it. This is not an easy time for anybody. So my point for the piece was this: if you have the luxury of time to be proactive, this is a great opportunity to get things done. And when I say get things done, it's really across the board. Now, if you're in between jobs, then it's mission critical. You have to find a way to get a new job because we're going to be closed to April 30th, according to Trump. And I got a feeling they're going to keep moving the goalposts. They say, April 30th, but they already, before that, they said Easter. So you got to wonder what's going to happen next. But let's take it's April 30th. So if it's April 30th, that's an awfully long time. And if you have a whole month to do something, think how productive you can be. If again, I'm saying big if, because I'm not putting on pressure on anybody to do something right away, but if you have the opportunity, think of what you can do. There's so much to accomplish. For instance, I'm going to do these videos every day, unless you guys are sick of it and hate it and say, just stop it, you suck at this, so I'm not going to watch it, then I'll stop. Or I don't know, I still might because I have nothing, it's kind of slow. And speaking of, if you're in between jobs, the market is definitely slow. I know this is no secret. It's not going to come as a surprise. It's going to be bad. 3 freaking million people filed for unemployment last week. Think about that. How crazy is that? 3 freaking million people. And up until now, every month for 10 years, there was an increase in the amount of people working. Record high employment, record low unemployment, things are great. We hit a wall. People laid off, people worried about their jobs. So if you're in between, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to pretend it's going to be easy. It's going to be super hard because companies are going to be laying off. Companies are going to have hiring freezes. And think about it. If you're an executive and you're running a company and you're in this market, you're not going to say, hey, let's bring on new people. You're going to think of, holy shit, what's going to happen next? Is there another shoe to drop? How long is this going to be? Are we going to be able to stay in business? So if you're looking, the first thing you have to do is manage your expectations. You have to know that the odds are stacked against you to find a new job. However, you can't let that stop you. You got to try. You can't just say, all right, screw it. I can't get a new job. I'm just going to give up. No, you have to try. And you don't have to make it your life ambition every single minute of the day, but little incremental steps so that one day you work on the resume, one day you work on LinkedIn, another day you reach out to all your contacts, which is a cool thing to do because this is a socially acceptable time now that everyone's stuck at home to kind of reach out to your different, to your existing colleagues who are also working from home, to reach out to former colleagues, friends, alumni, family, friends of friends of friends, the guy you met in the elevator 3 weeks ago who seemed pretty nice and knowledgeable and gave you his card for whatever reason. Maybe he gave you a reason because it's kind of creepy, but whatever. You got to try anything and everything to get in front of people. Another great way is to just get on social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, make yourself known, get yourself out there. Since you're sitting at home and instead of watching, that Tiger show on Netflix, take that time. What is it, like 8 episodes? You're talking about 8 hours. At least take the same amount of time, or do it while you're watching the show, while you're watching that crazy show, and the tigers and the nonsense. Then you could kind of go on LinkedIn, Twitter, write stuff on LinkedIn, connect with people so you make it productive. At the same time, too, my message was, hey, you don't want to just sit on the couch eating and not doing anything because it's not great for your mental health. So you also want to kind of be healthy. You want to, get in touch with your neighbors. And I know you can't go out, but let's say you have some older, infirm people. Maybe you could just drop some food off for them. Or just call and see how they're doing. I mean, that goes such a long way. So you get the message. You have this time, and we all know time goes so quickly that you have to use it to your advantage. But let me get to the crazy story. So MSNBC asked for me to speak and be on a panel, and I was jazzed. I said, yeah, sure, I'd love to do it. I love talking, so what the heck. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried that I could be kind of, hey, that hustle porn guy, and what an a-hole that he in this crazy time saying, hey, go on LinkedIn, get your resume, work out, exercise. And it's like, where's this guy coming from? We're all suffering, we're all worried, we're all freaked out. So I had that little concern. But go on the show, and the 2 panelists with me, super nice, super smart, great. The host, this guy, Joshua Jackson, really cool. And as I'm talking about it, someone raises, hey, this is a good time. Kind of echoing a little bit what I'm saying, but more from the social side. Hey, this is a good time where, dads, you should specifically mention dads, I'm a dad, so dads could take care of their kids. This is a good time to have that time. And I didn't mean to be rude, but I completely saw that. Like, I jumped into it. Her name is Helen, said, Helen, oh my God, that's exactly what I'm doing. That I kind of feel guilty that my kids are home. I know they're not happy about being home. We're kind of happy because we have dogs and cats and they miss them, and I hope they miss me and my wife, but they'd rather be having fun at school. So I'm cherishing the time together. And I told the host, Joshua Johnson, that, hey, my kids are here. Although I looked around, my son disappeared. I don't know where he went. But as I said, my daughter's literally, I pointed out, 3 feet away. And then the host, Joshua, says, okay, Jack, turn the camera over. And then I'm thinking, all right, the cynical New Yorker in me is like, does this guy not believe me? Does he think I just made it up and I'm just a real jerk? And then he must have saw my face or my expression or felt it. He goes, come on, turn it over. So then I'm like, all right, I kind of looked over to Emma. I'm like, looked over to her, and she looked at me. We looked at each other, and she was in shock, as was I. And I turned over, moved the camera, and Joshua said, hey, Emma. Oh, no, he said, hey, daughter, how are you? I said, oh, her name's Emma. He goes, hey, Emma. I say hi. And she was both elated, mortified, freaked out, but it was so awesome. It was such a great experience. It was, I got to tell you, we all are going through such a tough period of time. We're afraid we're going to get the coronavirus. We worry that people have it that we love. My brother is just diagnosed with coronavirus. Am I worried? Hell yeah. He doesn't seem to have it so bad. They didn't send him to the hospital, but you worry. And not to get all heavy, but our parents had passed away, pretty bad health reasons. And so, you realize how fragile things are. So it's scary. The segment right before this was talking about 10,000 people in Italy dying, and then all the other casualties, people who have it. So it was a very sobering, dark message beforehand. So when he turned the camera to her, and she was so excited, and I was, just amazed, especially going in thinking that I was going to be cast as the bad guy in this thing, that it just was one of those things. We ended it feeling so great. It was like in the midst of such a terrible time with people are literally losing their lives. People are sick. It's misery. That there was a little bright spot. You know what I mean? That they were able to find a bright spot to make the day of some young girl, but also make my day. And pretty much, I bet you a whole bunch of, people who were watching it also felt good. They felt like, all right, as bad as it gets, there's some silver linings, there's some good stuff. And I think that was just a great message. And I think for her, for a young woman, what a message. She's going to have that for the rest of her life. A story in the midst of all this terrible stuff, that's something, a little positive, or something a little fun that happened. And I think for all of us, we need that. We desperately need that. So what I'm going to do from my part, I think we all need to do our part. And what I'm going to try to do is every day give a really quick, this is a little longer because, first of all, I talk a lot. I guess that's what happens when you're a recruiter. You don't know how to shut up and keep babbling. But I'll try my best to keep it short. And the whole idea would be every day to give some useful advice, information to help you with your job. Either how to get a new job, or if you have one, how to hold on to it and make yourself indispensable. So, keep your eyes open for it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have anything you'd like me to talk about. So this is Jack Kelly, CEO, founder of WeCruitr. I can reach at 212-997-5061, Jack at WeCruitr, and we have to spell it funky, WeCruitr.com, WeCruitr.com. And check out the website, WeCruitr.com. Check out Forbes, Forbes.com, my articles. I write a crazy amount of articles, all career-related, job-related, what's going on within the whole corporate environment and how it will impact, either help or hurt your career, kind of big picture stuff too. So check that out. And hey, love to help you. Thanks for listening, and try to be safe and healthy, and try to have a good day as best you can under circumstances. Thanks.